What is going on, brother? What is going on?
What's going on, dude?
What a damn day we've had, right?
It started early. I always start my day early because I'm always up anyways. Because I work late at nights. But I was all excited. Time I get off of work, I had plenty of time to go get in line for Target to try to get some gold Stormtrooper, and screwed up completely all over the place.
You know what's kind of funny about this is we were talking about this right before we come on, and I think that there's a big group of us, and I guess there's a lot of them that kind of come in here and hang out in the chat. There's a big group of us on Instagram that all kind of are chatting back and forth, so we're kind of hunting together, and I actually took that as a positive today. That was really cool, right? That all of us were kind of, because I think that I was the first one that came up and said, my Target says they don't have them. And then it just went down the row, right? Yeah. This one. I'm not even really upset. I mean, I don't even really know how to be upset. And right before we came on here, you made a very valid point. You said that it's not necessarily them not having the pop that you're upset about. It's them wasting our time.
Right? Yeah, I think that's what, because when I got there this morning, I was I got out there. There was already a line because apparently every Friday, which I didn't know. I didn't know I was part of this. Every Friday at Target now, or I don't know, maybe it's other places.
Everywhere.
They're doing all the cards, whether it's sports cards, basketball, football, Pokemon, whatever.
And they are huge right now.
And there's a bunch of people out there waiting. I'm like the one guy sitting in line going, I just want Funkos. So they're like, yeah, you don't really need to be standing in line for that. So I was like, okay. And, went in there, 8 o'clock came around. I went in there. There was one other person that was kind of following me. And, I go back there and I look at, because usually they have the new stuff at the counter, and go to the counter, nothing. Go to the Funko section, nothing. Ask the employee, they're like, hey, where's the drop today? They're like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. So they went back, like, oh, let me go look in the stock room. They take a while. They come out with the manager for electronics.
We had the same experience so far. Yeah. So far, we've had the same experience.
So he comes out with his little handheld, showing me that they took him a while, but they figured out what the SKU was. And he showed me his handheld at every store within 50 miles of here. Nobody got it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is up with that lately? It's like, he's like, dude, we used to get these pops like 2 weeks beforehand whenever there was a drop. And he's like, over the last 6 months, like, we're lucky if we get it the 2 days before. And which scares me for, there's supposed to be a big Target drop come, the second.
The second, right? That's the blacklight pops.
And it's like, and he's like, dude, we haven't even gotten, because I told him about those. He's like, dude, we haven't even gotten those yet.
Oh, well, they didn't tell me that. I forgot to ask that. I mean, I totally slipped asking them if they were going to have those pops ready or not. So I didn't ask them that at all. But I'm just gonna assume, because those are the Target pops, right? I mean, because there's not a con. Those are released by Target. They're Target exclusives. I'm just going to assume that Target is going to have them on the second, right? I mean, that's where I'm going to live. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt until they show me otherwise, right?
Now you said, as far as the Stormtrooper goes, he's like, they're probably delayed. But I started thinking, I was like, well, at that point it's like 8:30. I'm like, well, in 30 minutes I could go online. But I'm like, the one thing that really pissed me off about it was the fact that, if you're going to have shared exclusives, if you're going to show shared exclusives, have your shared exclusives available. What's the point in saying, hey, this is a Walmart exclusive if the only place I can buy it is Funko.com? I mean, seriously. Just say everything to Funko.com and don't do shared exclusives anymore.
So and like, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I live kind of away from civilization, right? I mean, I live a little further out than most people. When I say a little further out, it took me almost an hour to get to Target today. I mean, so I instantly knew when they didn't release at Target, because I actually went to a second one. I said, well, maybe this one didn't get them. So I went to a second one that was kind of close to it. They didn't have it. So then at this point, we're all in the chat together. So I've come to the conclusion that it's not happening today. And I am forced to use my phone to try and get them offline. I have never, ever had success with my phone. getting them offline ever. So I knew that I was done for at that point trying to get that stormtrooper. I gave it a valid effort, but here's what and this was kind of something that was going through our group too. I managed to get it in my cart and in the checkout in under a minute before my phone said 9:01. It was in my cart and I was waiting in the little death of waiting room, right? I mean, the death waiting room. And I knew once it took longer than 2 minutes that it wasn't happening. But you know how you're holding on to hope, right? I mean, at this point, I'm in my car, I'm on the interstate, and I'm holding on to faith, looking at my phone. And then it like 9:05, they came in and said that it sold out. Now, some of the guys said it sold out at 9:05. Some of the guys said it sold out at 9:04, which this is what I'm going to say. If I had it in my cart under a minute, I'm going to say that it sold out in a minute. And that I say that because it was in my cart right before it was 9:01. So I'm going to say that it sold out in under a minute. But I discovered this a long time ago, and I found out that a lot of people don't know this with the chat today. There are different servers all over the United States, right? And these different servers, they don't all move at the same speed. So I have discovered that anytime I'm trying to use my cell phone, it doesn't work. But if I come home and use my laptop, which is a trick that Mr. Techbot here told me, if I come home and use my PC, I get them every time. So there's a difference in the servers and how they go down is that if you're going to get it or not. So always try and use your PC is the best point of advice there. But I knew instantly that I was done for. It wasn't happening.
To be honest with you, when 9 o'clock came around, I was so annoyed with this whole shared retail thing that I was like, screw it. I'm not even going to try because I don't even feel like Funko deserves money right now. So I really don't even care. I did come home later on, and, probably about noon, and from running some other errands, and I was like, let me just pop on a Funko's website. They did have 3 of the sodas. So I'm like, screw it, I'll grab the 3 sodas, although they were limiting. Like usually I like to buy like a couple of each type, and they're like, nope, you get 1.
What? How dumb was that? They didn't sell out. I mean,
they couldn't give me more quantity.
Was that?
They wouldn't let me change the quantity amount, so they're just like, "What? This is all you get." I'm like, "What the hell?"
My. That's dumb. That's idiocracy at its best, as far as I'm concerned. If you didn't sell out, open the limits up. I mean, open the numbers up. I mean, if you didn't sell out and you did your event, open the numbers up. I've always been so confused as to why people decide that they're going to hold it. Like it's. I went to Think Geek one time, and the lady had a big table. I mean, big table, like size of the table I have right here, and it must have had 100 of the con pops on it. And I said, hey, can I buy 3 of that one? And she said, no, sir, there's a limit to 1 per customer. There was no one. Listen to me. No one else around. I said, oh my God. I said, well, good luck. Weeks later, I went in there and they still had those pops. I was like,
I kept wanting to look to see if they, they were ballsy enough to show a page and showing a huge table at Funko Hollywood of these items, and I would have been even more pissed.
Let me tell you what it did do, though, because I think that a lot of us, especially myself, I got caught in this trap, right, where a lot of my content revolves around Funko. It has caused me to find something that I'm super excited about, and I just ordered my first one today, and it's kind of pricey. But I'm super excited to get this guy here so that I can show him off to all of y'all. So it's caused me to look out in other directions. So I'm not even upset. I'm more upset, like you said earlier, that they wasted my time. They wasted 2 hours of my day, an hour driving there, an hour getting back, and not counting the time that I spent in there. They wasted a lot of my day for no good reason.
Yeah, no, I get that. But yeah, like I said, it was a debacle. I mean, the way I see it is if you were going to have it open, if you were going to do it this way and have a free for all at 9 o'clock and not do shared retailers, what was the point of the lottery? The lottery was stupid then.
Look, I think the lottery is stupid anyways, especially when I discovered that you could go back in there as many times as you wanted. So check this out. If any one of us hit the lottery, give the key to everybody, because it doesn't matter how many times you log in and out. Does that even make sense to you? That doesn't even make sense to me that if they say that I can shop from 2 to 4, that I can shop as many times as I want from 2 to 4. So if you limited it to, I just keep logging back in and buying 2 more, and I log back in and buy 2 more, and I keep doing that until I'm just happy with how many I have, and that makes 0 sense to me whatsoever. Zero.
Yeah.
0 cents that makes to me.
Well, let's get to this chat, and I do want to hit up one thing because I figured I'll add it in here. You know, of course, we always like to do the little drinking game. You know, if there's any super chats, whatnot, you know, we always have to show it. In fact, I ran out of beer this week, so I've got some Coke in here, and we're gonna add some St. Thomas good rum.
Shit, what are you doing?
This is my favorite drink of choice.
All right, so I forgot to get a drink as well, so I had to run to my beer fridge. I got a beer fridge, so I had to run to my beer fridge, and I grabbed some of this stuff. Is dangerous though. Have you ever had Gumball Head?
I've heard of it.
Ooh, Gumball Head's dangerous. I really like Gumball, but it'll get you white boy wasted real quick. So y'all don't hit any of those super chats because I'll get white boy wasted super quick drinking this stuff. It's some kind of wheat beer, really good. Got great flavor to it, great flavor. But man, if you're not careful, 2 or 3 in, you're on a slur on the lake. It's kind of funny. So we have some really good guests.
I'm a rum guy 100%. So
oh man, my wife is too. She really likes her rum. I think that oh yeah, she really likes her rum. Really likes her rum. So we have a really cool guest coming on today.
We have a fantastic guest because guy we've actually been I'll say I've been chasing after him for a little while. Before he is blowing up before, and he was then he took a break because of some situation. Job wise and stuff like that, and he's back. So we have WayneKo Inc. Fantastic guy. I've been watching his channel for quite a while. Absolutely love his channel. He's a good guy all around. So we got him coming on a little bit later, and that should be an interesting one.
What kind of rum do you drink?
I do all kinds, but I like, especially like anytime I'm in the Caribbean, like if I go take a cruise, I always go after whatever local stuff that they have. So like this one right here, Bones, this is a straight from St. Thomas. This is local to St. Thomas. But my favorite overall, my favorite absolute rum is Appleton rum in Jamaica.
Yeah, from Jamaica.
Jamaica makes the best rum.
Appleton, and they swear by it too. They absolutely swear by the Appleton.
Absolutely. But see, Appleton's good to take like over ice, whereas the St. Thomas one's a lot better to mix with Coke. Did
you bring any back when you stopped in Jamaica? Because we actually brought some of it back in when we came through here. But you know that you can now buy that in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
It's been like a year ago. I seen it like at a liquor store. For the longest time, it wasn't over here, but it's over here now. Let's get over that chat.
I made a crucial mistake many years ago. We were out there, and they got the duty free shops and stuff like that. And we were out there, and I seen that they had this blue bottle of Appleton. Came in a case, everything like that, and they wanted like $90 for it. I was like, that seems to be a lot. I came back to the States, found out that they're selling it for $400 out here.
Oh yeah,
like, damn, I should have bought that.
Well, you could only get 2 of them. I mean, there's a limit to 2 when it comes to the duty free stuff.
Well, let's hit up this chat. First guy in the chat today was Shep 3 Pops. What's going on, buddy?
What is going on? Chase's
and we had Chase in here. Chase, we've been chatting back and forth with Chase pretty much all day.
All day. That Chase is a part of that group of guys that we sit down and hunt together with. Yesy Lou.
We got Jesse Lou Comics and Pops. What's going on? We've got our good friends over there in the UK, Andy and Holly Roberts. We got Pop Teat out there. I think he's in Ireland, but I think he already had to jump off real quick because of time change and everything like that. We got the one, the only, the great moderator in the area, Christina Payne. Oh, I got to put this up here every time. She always does hashtag spread the love. And then who else we got in here?
Andy
we got
Roberts.
OTT with G. What's going on?
Did you skip over Andy Roberts? How did you skip over Andy Roberts?
No, I didn't skip. I just said Andy Roberts.
You didn't say Andy Roberts.
I said Andy and Holly Roberts. I did. And then I did decide at last minute I want to go ahead and stream to Facebook as well. So I do have a friend of mine from Facebook that chimed in a little bit. We've also got Funko Brothers. What's going on, guys? We've got who else we have? We have Zach Bonifer. What is happening, guys?
What's going on?
We got,
is Zach a part of that group too?
Zach?
I
I don't know,
remember
but
his
he sent me something earlier that was pretty funny.
He's probably from
He's the one that sends these weird, and we should put it up. He sent us this really, really funny picture. Like a
Yeah,
week ago that was
everybody
really
got jokes. Everybody's got jokes.
We got Southern Comic Geek. What's going on? Of course, we've got our fantastic guest already in the chat already. Buddy, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We drink to you.
Wink Inc. Oh man, I got to open this thing up. This thing's dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, this thing's really dangerous. I don't think y'all understand. It tastes so good. Get me so drunk.
And we got BK Phip. I think that's how it's
Phillips. Yes, Phillips.
All right.
I've had enough time trying to say
where
that.
we're at so far. What's the company man, the numbers guy is already here.
Man.
By the way, we
man.
also have our Patreon only giveaway. And just to give you a heads up, probably by this weekend, I think both of us, if you go to our Patreons are still always up there. I've got 3 different tiers, stuff like that. We are going to be going back in there and rewording a few things.
Yeah, the Patreon's going to get reworded for sure.
Because Patreon decided to change some of their rules, and so nothing's really going to change. We just got to reword a few things. But for me this week, I went with an item that I just recently got in a Funko drop that I thought was cool, but I'm not really that interested in keeping him. But we've got the Flash, glow in the dark.
That's a good looking pop though. That really is a good looking pop. I have it right here. See, I went with the Hello Kitty robot. This was one of the con pops from I want to say this was the San Diego con last year.
I wonder if we can see this. I just picked this up.
Did you just pick up one of those black light flashlights? Yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Yes, it Lou's in the house.
It's hard to tell with the camera. But yeah, I just picked one up. So
hold on just a second. I got to do this at least once. Thank you, brother. Truly appreciate it.
Of course, we've got Jesse Lou. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Donut Life all the way.
He said Donut Life. Donut Life.
Yes, this week we got Donut Life, and we go to Wayne's, we got Burger Life.
Burger Life.
So,
play on words. Thug Life, Burger Life. It
always works. It always works. But yeah, definitely it's been an interesting week though. I noticed that you got some really cool videos that came out this week. I gave out my first video in the new set. It felt good.
Yeah, it's a good looking set. I can't wait to see it. I mean, I haven't seen the video yet. It's not up yet, is it? That's going to be coming up here soon.
I put that up yesterday.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, man. I'm slipping. I'm definitely going to have to get over there and check that out. I have been waiting to see the new set that you have going on. I'm doing some remodels, so I'm looking all crazy at this moment, but it looks like it's in one of those 7th layer of hells when you try and walk around and everything's glowing and blinking and flashing.
Yeah, I'm still eventually I've ordered the strip lights. I'm still going to strip light that, and then of course you can see probably there's still some pops sitting over here. We're putting shelves up right here to kind of fill in some of the rest. So it's still a work in progress, but it
looks good though. Looks good. Looks real good. You still need to do something with that door though. I'm still looking at that door.
We'll figure out. Again, I got to talk to the wife. She's the designer, so she rules.
You need to get the designer on that door.
Design on it.
You need to get the designer on. You could put a big captain there or something. Just a big captain.
Maybe.
Big captain look good right there.
Captain.
You should maybe you should do a what's his name? What is that dude called again? What is he called again? The what's his name? The agent?
U.S. agent
John Walker. You should put John Walker up there.
Andy Roberts, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Truly appreciate it. Y'all are trying to get me wasted.
By the way, speaking of that, if you have not watched the last episode of Falcon Winter Soldier yet,
don't you do it.
Oh my God, I've already watched it twice.
Don't do it.
I already watched it twice. It is incredible, and it is a great ending to the series.
I'll get to it tonight. I'll definitely get to it tonight. I'll get to it tonight. I've got some like grilling and stuff I'm gonna do when we're done, but I'll get to it. I'll definitely get to it.
But we've already got the man, the company man sitting in the backstage right now. And like I said, I've been trying to get this gentleman on for a little while, and like I said, the stars have aligned, the moons are in the sky, and we do have the company man on right now. Let me get my new overlay on. Let's bring him in. What is going on, buddy?
Hey, man, how's it going, guys?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Man, good. I love the overlay. That's not
threw that together a little. Whenever I have time, I can try to get these overlays in there.
Looks like if I were to
yeah, you got the overlays.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Well, you're running OBS, right?
XSplit. Yeah, XSplit. And then with it paired on top of StreamYard.
Okay.
Yeah. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, but it also it's not always real clean. So
what do you mean? Yeah. I didn't even really know that you could do that. I've played around with OBS a little bit, but I don't think OBS would pair with StreamYard, would it?
It's definitely rougher than XSplit. It can, but you definitely lose some of the features. But what it does is what StreamYard's designed to do is pull all of your settings from one of those, either OBS, XSplit, or whatever you want to use. But XSplit definitely works a lot better from what I could tell. But
man, I gotta say, I was a couple months back. I was real sad when I watched the video. You're stopping away for a little bit because I really enjoyed the videos. You had something out there. You're kind of like me. You're the mystery box guy, and you do all kinds of different stuff. But I was sad to see you go. But hey, happy for good things in the future. And then when I saw the video come back up, I was like, oh my God, is Wink back? Is Wink back?
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that style of video?
Oh, which one? The go away or the comeback video?
No, not the comeback.
Like the company man.
The company man. The numbers guy. How did you? What made you come up with that?
Man, no. So I mean, I definitely have like a senior management position at the company I'm at, but I mean, I guess kind of a combination of things. Like I'm the guy that kind of give the speeches at the events and things like that. And they're always real impassioned. I'm in a kind of a cutthroat industry, if like building materials construction. So, I mean, it's real, cutthroat. So really kind of go at you in your face. So I'm always like, okay, I could take this persona and translate it. And I loved kind of the mystery box stuff I saw. And I thought I'd marry the two together. Big wrestling fan in the Attitude Era. I thought maybe I'll put a little edge on the character. And that's kind of how it came to be. So worked out pretty well, I guess.
I just always figure you watched a lot of Kramer?
Yeah.
A lot of Mad Money going there.
That's what I thought for sure. I thought that you watched a lot of Mad Money. I mean, because all you need's the buttons. I just wait to start hitting the buttons.
Yeah, I do need some buttons. That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
You need the bull button. And
yeah, I like that.
Now you do a lot of different stuff. Now I see you do like a lot of comic books. You do Funko Pops. I've seen you do the video game ones, which I definitely always wanted to do a little bit. But you do a little bit of everything. Out of all these different mystery boxes, which are your favorite?
Comic books far and away. But it's funny because I see you guys. Like you guys were talking about the Funko, and like you're like, man, it's made me realize I got to diversify because when you can't get the drops, when you can't secure the stuff, and yeah, that's got to be frustrating because I never got into that side of it, where you're buying the day one drops, but mystery boxes for Funko especially are rough with the Whatnot app. I feel like I'm anxious now in that arena, right? I'm like, man, what's the heck's this Whatnot? Why did it destroy Funko Pops?
We talked about that. I think the Whatnot has helped the industry, but also kind of killed the mystery box.
Yeah,
game as well.
Definitely. It's all about those values translating, across the board too, which it seems like prices are going up. So that's good.
Yes. See, I never got into the mystery boxes. So I always got into getting them on the first day drops. That was the way that I've structured my channel, is that I get the pops on the first day drops. That's how I get the views. That's how I get all of that because that's what's hot at that moment. Right. But Funko has changed the game.
Yeah,
and how things work. So I should have diversified. I can't even say that word. I should have done that a long time ago. I should have done it. I kept telling myself that I needed to do it. They just kind of forced me into doing it. I'm still not going to do mystery boxes though.
Right.
I still, it's not that I don't like mystery boxes. I just like collecting when I like collecting, and
Yeah.
you don't get that benefit with a mystery box. I mean, it's just
Right.
not there.
Oh, I can definitely appreciate that sentiment. I mean, and as you get more experienced as a collector, you kind of do start to gravitate away from them. I find that I'm getting more picky with what I get. When I didn't have anything and I thought everything was cool, I was like, this is great, but as you start honing in on what you like, you're like, oh man, this is a lot of stuff I got to try to move, or,
Yes.
so I don't know. It's definitely becomes more strategic.
And I think everybody, even in the YouTube game, has had to, try to change things up from time to time, because, I do a lot. I love mystery boxes. I love the thrill of what are you going to get? Are you going to pull something good? But I'm in Orlando, Florida. I'm in Central Florida. I literally live 20 minutes from Disney World. So, to start off and kind of push and start doing some more Disney stuff, little this, little that here, I was like, well, why not? So you do a lot of Funkos, you do a lot of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all those comic books you've got, because you pulled some major slabs, by the way. What's your highest valued slab you've gotten so far?
Probably, I would say one of the top ones is that Fantastic Four, which you're gonna, spoiler alert, that video tonight. That's a 4840. That's probably about $3,200. I've gotten around $4,000 before, things like that. I mean, as you start getting into these things, it becomes a slippery slope, and values of comics are going through the roof. I mean,
right now, huge.
Yeah, it's a huge market. The economy of it's just roaring. So the values just keep going up and up. But yeah.
So as the company man, when do you expect the bottom to fall out? Because me and my local comic book guy were talking about this just a couple of weeks ago on how we feel like eventually the bottom is going to fall out of this. It can't stay at the pace that it's at.
Yeah, it's interesting. Comics, I think my theory is definitely in the minority a little bit, because you've got I could really expand it all the way to NFTs, right? Like non-fungible tokens, to where like those are actually driving value of real collectibles. And the thing about comic books that's interesting is you've got a massive advertisement base in the television shows, where there are constantly new fans getting introduced to it, but they're not printing more of these older books. So you're constantly getting new money, which is like the Bitcoin theory. You've got a 21 million Bitcoin market cap, but more interest in it every single day. So what happens when more people get interested? They invest. When new money comes up, the price goes up, demand goes up. So in a way, theoretically, mathematically, these are insulated a little bit from a crash or from a market correction. I definitely think you're right. There's going to have to be a dip eventually. Yeah. Well, I don't know that you're going to see the bottom come out of it, unless we just have a catastrophic economic implosion across the U.S. I don't know.
Well, I think I watched a video a long time ago from Dr. Applesauce. Right. He talked about, especially Funko Pops alone, being a circle of life for Funko Pops. If one thing goes askew, it puts the whole system out of whack. Now, right now, with the whole industry, I mean, that's the other big thing is now you've got, people out of work. You got people that are going to just try to flip everything to try to make money, whether I've never seen such a surge in sports cards and Pokemon cards than I have in the past 6 months. And then not let alone, Funkos. I mean, they're driving the prices humongous on eBay. At some point, I got to think that all these high items that people are buying expensive is going to just plummet when people stop doing it so much. Or do we think it is going to stop at some point?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thought. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, the argument I think that I make for comics is you've got a century of history. You've got some that command values of over $1 million, which really sets the market cap difference way different than like a Funko Pop or really any other collectible. I mean, you've got baseball, football cards, baseball cards, but here's the thing about those. Even those are on a time limit. Like eventually Michael Jordan becomes less relevant, not irrelevant, but less relevant. But does Batman ever become irrelevant? Well, he stood for 100 years. Batman is more than a man. He's, it's a symbol.
Well, as long as they cast Robert Pence, then he'll become irrelevant.
Well, see, I get what you're saying, and what you're saying makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, because they don't continuously make the same comic book over and over and over. Eventually, that book has to go up in value, right? I mean, it doesn't have a choice but to go up in value. But when you get to the Pokemon, like you just said, they've not a long standing. Look, this is not new in the Pokemon world. This is their 30th birthday, and they're running with it. 25th birthday, I think, and they're running with it. It's running hard this year because it's their 25th birthday. Funko, however, continuously has to make new ones to stay new in the market.
Right.
Or they risk the chance of falling. And if you notice whenever the Funko is new, it goes really high in value. And then the older it gets, the lower it goes down because it's no longer the hot item.
Right. That's true. That's
I mean, so I hear what you're saying, and what you're saying makes a lot of sense. I don't necessarily know that I think the bottom's going to fall out of it, but at some point it's going to take a dip. I mean, at some point.
Yeah, it has to. I mean, that goes back to the mathematics. I think you're right. It has to dip to some capacity, right? Like there's no way that you can roar. There's too many external factors, too many outliers that are going to affect it, like whether it be a recession in our economy or something's going to cause it to dip to some extent. But I still think as far as an investment standpoint goes, they're pretty safe. Comic books are. Now, Funkos, I would argue a little bit. There's a little bit more variable there. I mean, but I have been wrong. I mean, like, gosh, I'm surprised. Some of the older ones, they maintain value at a very consistent dollar amount.
Oh, yeah.
They bounce a little bit, but, man, it's pretty darn hard line. I mean, so, you never know. Even when they make them.
We haven't seen that in a long time, though. When it comes to the Funkos, we have not seen that Grail that shot up in value and it stayed there.
Right. True. That's a good point.
I mean, it hasn't happened in a while. They've kind of hit that plateau right now to where they're if they're not careful, they'll start dipping faster than they're rising.
Yeah.
I mean, they're at a strange plateau that they're going to have to pull themselves out of. I mean, we can't do it. And I think in what Chris was saying just a second ago with the everything has to work in a circle, right? Everything works in a circle. I think right now the circle is so unbalanced with flippers versus collectors that's going to have to fix itself before Funko gets fixed. I mean, that's where the unbalance is.
That's a good point. Yeah, because it's way too flipper heavy for sure.
Oh yeah.
In comic books, like I said, what solves that problem is the new money that enters it constantly. Like you have more flippers, but the new money continues to just push it up. But Funko doesn't have that luxury. You've got a lot of flippers.
Well, you also you're not going to get that in comic books because, I mean, the average new comic, even if they bring out new comics, you don't know if it's going to be something big. You don't even know if you're going to get a major new appearance until years down the line to know that was a major appearance. I mean, look at Guardians of the Galaxy. For many years, Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of it wasn't a favorable comic book. And then Marvel MCU decided to bring out the movie, and it shot through the roof.
And that's an excellent point too. I mean, it's like comics are benefiting from a perfect storm. It's never been easier to enter the hobby with the knowledge that's available. Like you can download, and everybody has their different one. You can go to CBSI, you can download the Key Collector app, walk into a comic book store, not have an absolute clue of what you're looking at, and pull this app up and say, oh, hey, let me go look for this.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that accessibility has just helped it tremendously. I mean, it's crazy.
But in the Funko world, it's kind of skewed because you got a thing like a golden, metallic Stormtrooper that, before it's even sold, people are already selling on eBay for $60, $70, $80. It's like, you guys don't realize you're completely eschewing the value of these things big time, But, I mean, it is what it is. I think it's eventually going to burst. But let me ask you, were you a comic collector or a Funko collector first?
So comic collector first, way back when I was a kid. Funkos really just came from YouTube. Like I'm really incredibly new to YouTube. Like I never really watched YouTube growing up, or really until the last couple of years when I started my channel. And that's when I really started liking Funko Pops. And I was like, oh man, these are great. Like I'd seen them before and stuff, and had picked up one or two here or there just to have for cool things. But I never realized the collectability of them until I saw YouTube people opening them. I was like, oh man, this is great. So I got to get in on this.
So normally I always ask people, because everyone kind of starts, that one Funko that gets them started on that area. But you were a comic guy first. What was that first comic book that you can remember as far back that you were just like, that just kind of started the steamroll of?
Yeah, that was easy for me. That's The Long Halloween, Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale for Batman.
Oh, wow.
The trade paperbacks were coming out. They had just done some fire stuff. That Long Halloween is an iconic run, and it really was. I was like, man. And then, of course, the 90s, like X-Men and watching the X-Men cartoon, that kind of stuff. You get into it. But it was just back then. It was in and out, in and out.
Yeah. Hey, Andrew from the Luau, thank you very
Yes,
much. I
truly
appreciate
appreciate you,
it,
brother.
man.
Thank you, Andrew, very much.
Oh, okay. Well,
Oh, are you drinking with us?
If we got Wink
I was
drinking over here
hilarious.
with us too, what is he drinking?
Yeah, I got a little Jack Fire, man.
There you go.
Yeah,
Now you're talking to me.
yeah. Thank you, Andrew.
So you're in the building industry. I mean, that explains a lot. You do a lot of the talking for them.
Yeah.
What do you think about the price of building materials? I went to, and that's going to get totally off subject for a minute, but I went to Home Depot the other day because I was going to build this table right here. I was going to get some plywood. I was going to build me a table a little bit higher. It was going to cost me $50. That was it. I mean, I've been around wood long enough that I could do this. A piece of plywood was going to cost me $80.
That's right. That's right. No, it's insane, and it doesn't really have any time of stopping. I mean, you know, it's like CGC went up in price. I don't know if you saw that, the grading service, and people are
Oh yeah.
And I'm just laughing because I'm like, man, they had to. I mean, I know what the cost of raw materials are now. If, you know, CBCS, they're probably not going to go up to capture the market share, which makes sense. But I'm like, gosh, this is a good thing in a way, but not for building materials. It's not, because this is going to cause our, you know, if you start looking at, like, not to get way out of whack here, but you look at the velocity of money, you start looking at our economy, looking at inflation. Building materials is always kind of the first indicator of a recession. And we are definitely have that ball forming for a recession. We just got to get away from it. At least the money to get is still cheap for a mortgage. You know, loan money is still cheap. That if they keep the interest rate down, we'll probably be okay and we can weather it. But then it's going to be about what pricing sticks, right? Because now they're like, oh, we've conditioned the market to $80 a sheet on plywood. Let's leave it alone. Maybe we'll take it to 75, come out looking like the good guy.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's back up. Pump the brakes. But yeah,
we're going to look like heroes.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute here. You know, because I know the raw material situation. It's starting to trickle in now, finally, right? So we're coming on the backside of this thing. When is the force majeure coming off? You know, like, what are we doing? So we'll see. I think it'll start to stabilize, hopefully in about 60 days.
So what is your most expensive comic book that you own?
That I own is,
I think
that is up there, but no, I've got a couple that are. I've got a Batman Beyond third print that's way up there. It's probably in that $3,000 to $4,000 range, somewhere in there. I've got a couple that are in that range.
Well, now, do you do like we had Adrian at APM on one time, and he straight up has comics in a dry storage that are high up there. It's like, because he's a huge Spider-Man collector. So, you know, did you do any like dry storage type situations?
No. I mean, I have a very like sophisticated setup though. Like, I don't have any just standard boxes. I got all the BCW plastic bins.
Warlord, thank you very much. Appreciate
it, brother.
Thank you, Warlord. Thanks so much, man. Good to see you, James.
So you just kind of keep them all boxed up, everything like that.
Yeah. I'm so everybody says they're OCD, but I'm like terrible. I'm probably the worst person in the world. I mean, they're all alphabetized by volume, by, you know, it's crazy.
Well, I always like watching your videos when you do that SpiderMan booth, because I've always wanted to do one of those, but man, the price of those things just get kind of crazy for that one. But you get some good stuff out of that box.
I've been fortunate, more fortunate than most, with getting some decent stuff. You know, here lately they've taken a dip just because it happens, right? You know, you had a lot of success, you overloaded the boxes, set unrealistic expectations, and then it kind of starts to, especially on the Superior side. But at the end of the day, man, I mean, JP's a great guy. I mean, man, they got good leadership, great culture, a lot of good things going on. I think they'll just bring it right back around. Hard to get books right now too. My gosh. I can't even imagine trying to buy stuff and loading boxes, especially 200 of them. Wow. It costs you a fortune. You definitely have to go up in price.
What do you think about Thunderbolts? I just picked up 1 through 18.
Thunderbolts is going to be a huge key. You got to get first Thunderbolts though. Get that.
Yeah, I picked up 1 through 18.
So yeah, it's going to be definitely in the MCU. That's a great speculative book. 100% good speculation.
I'm into like book 4 right now. That story went in a completely different direction than I thought it would go. Completely different direction.
How comics
I told you, if you're gonna get Thunderbolts, the next thing you got to do is start looking for Dark Avengers.
Well, I'm going to get through this one first. I'm not going to buy any more. I'm going to try and get number 19 and number 20, and then I'm going to start buying. What did you call those? What are they called? The graphic novels. I'm going to try and pick up the graphic novels and the rest of them just because it makes more sense to read them that way.
I told you for you, it'd be a lot better to do the graphic novels because when the graphic novels, it's multiple, comic books in one. So sometimes it's a lot easier to follow the story, but I still like having the individual comic books. Like I said, I think I said a couple of times, my current favorite comic book series right now has got to be the Eternals. I'm loving that series at the moment.
That's a great series. This is the first appearance of the Thunderbolts. They actually appeared in the Incredible Hulk 449.
Yeah, I just read that one. That one right there taught me that the Incredible Hulk is not a superhero.
So, man, if you got that, is it in really good condition? That's a very pricey book.
No, it's not in super good condition.
Oh, gotcha.
I wouldn't get it graded.
I disagree with that a little bit because with the Thunderbolts, Thunderbolt Ross has been fighting against the Hulk for years, so he's always tried to make the Hulk out to be something that he's not, and try to villainize the Hulk. To be honest with you,
I agree with Wayne. Hulk's terrible.
He is not a superhero in that comic. In that comic, he breaks a dam to kill a village to get them to quit fighting him. That is not a superhero. I just read that one.
Walt Ross right there.
I mean, I just read that one last night. He is not a superhero. Not a superhero.
So let me ask you, one of the greatest things in comic books, or especially the big names, are you a DC or a Marvel guy?
Me, I'm a DC guy, believe it or not. I collect way more Marvel, but no, I'm a DC guy. I like DC a lot. Older DC, but still.
See, I always give DC credit. I think DC's comics are great storylines, fantastic storylines. They just are horrible movie makers.
Oh yeah, they're awful. I mean, they get away from Warner Brothers and we can get something good going. But yeah, I mean, now the comics are kind of taking a little bit of a hit. I mean, Batman's still awesome. I mean, it's absolutely great. But yeah, I mean, in DC books don't nearly command the value of Marvel books, so you kind of gravitate towards the Marvels, but
unless you get a Superman #1, I mean,
yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Never happening. Never happening.
Yeah,
there's less than 100 left to know.
Yeah, it's never happening. I think the last one sold for 3 million. I mean, it was retarded.
Yeah, it was way up there.
Yeah, it was retarded.
And that was 3 million. That I believe, if I read on that one, that was like a 5 graded.
Yeah, it wasn't even that well of a grade. It was pretty bad. And that's just been here recently. I want to say 3 million. It might have been 2. It was way up there though. It was way up there. So, what is your most expensive comic, and what is your Funko, and what is your favorite line?
My most expensive Funko is probably not as much as you would think. I've got a Freddy Deadpool, so what's he 800? I've got Rorschach. My favorite line is DC, of course. Like I love the DC Martian Manhunter. I got Reverse Flash. I got a couple of them back here. I got the Red Hulk back there, and there's my Martian Manhunter. I kind of change those out every now and then, but DC for sure. Older DC, I like that.
What is everything behind you that we're looking at? I see that you have the comics there, and then you have 2 lights back there. What is that directly behind you? Because all I can see is like this big black square.
So this is you talking about this thing?
Yes, just every.
That's the wet bar. So that's a Red Bull fridge that I restored.
Oh, that's
a Red Bull fridge?
Yeah, it's a Red Bull fridge. Like that light on top, it has like a bar top. It turns on, and then
that's awesome.
Got all kinds of stuff on it. So that's like the wet bar. That's the nano leaf panels. Those come on with music and stuff, like lights.
So I gotta know, and I don't know if you maybe have answered this in other lives, but like I said, when you left YouTube, were you missing it for a while?
To be fully transparent, no, I was not.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, I didn't realize the grind that I was putting in because it was every day. It was 6 videos a week and then the live on Sunday, which is a big reason why I changed the balance. Now, there are other reasons I did, because now I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then every other Sunday. But I also did that to be able to diversify the channel further because I realized pretty quickly I still stayed abreast of things right while I was gone. I still was watching. I saw what was happening with Whatnot and Funko, and I was like, I can't just keep doing boxes. I'm going to have to expand it beyond that eventually. So that's kind of why I left some of those slots open to do other things. I've got some other things kind of in the works. Hopefully they work out, but yeah, I didn't miss it. It was crazy. I was like, man, what am I going to do all night? This is great. You know? Yeah, but then you definitely do start missing it. Yeah, then you're like, oh man, this is not as good as I thought it would be.
Yeah, I know you and I stayed in contact through some of it from messaging from time to time, and and things like that. Like I said, I've always loved your channel. I think it was something great, something different. So plus I've learned. I mean, I consider myself a good comic book kid, but there's still a lot of stuff, especially watching Jesse Lou's channel, your channel, stuff like that I still I'm continuing to learn.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm learning all the time. I'm still brand new, basically. So,
I'm super new to the comic game. Super new to it.
It's a good community though, and they'll help you all along. It's great, man.
Especially when you got guys like Adrian and stuff like that definitely goes into it. Wait, what did he say? Professor Hulk is not the other Hulks.
He's not the other Hulks.
I'm just gonna have him battle over there with Yessie.
Is he still going on about the Hulk right now over there?
Yeah. We're over there going on about the Hulk. Oh, so DC's your favorite line of Funko. What about right now? Are you into the blacklight Funkos and stuff like that?
No. I just like the older ones. The older con stickers is what I really like. Nothing. I'm not really into anything new. I gotta say, I haven't really seen anything that really jumped out at me. There was one I saw. I can't remember what it was because I got it out of a mystery box. But I have never done like the lotteries or anything, to try to win the drops. The last one I saw that I really wanted was Black Lightning, and I didn't get it.
Oh, I got that one.
Yeah, that was the last one I saw. I was like, man, I got to get that. What is he sitting at value wise? Because he was another one that just shot up.
He's gone up and down a lot.
Yeah,
he's currently up at about. I've got him somewhere over here. He's currently up at about 130.
Oh,
what's funny is out of that series, I got Jack in the Box before him, or at the same time, and Jack in the Box is valued way higher than he is.
Oh, that's funny because everybody was going with that Black Lightning. Was he like 1,500 piece count or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, they made him a very limited number.
Yeah, that's when I was really wanting, and I was like, I didn't get it. I even got the lottery of that one. Like, I was like, nah, I didn't get it. Yep, there he is.
That was the only one that I could get with the actual con sticker. Everything else had the shared stickers on it.
Yeah, that's a good pickup.
But I don't know. Like I said, I don't agree with. To me, I'd rather do it in a system like that, especially after if you heard what we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
The way you. I mean, if you're not going to get your product out to shared retailers, and you're just going to do a free for all the next morning, then what's the point in a lottery?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I was listening to Wayne with them just having a loaded amount of them and just saying, "Oh, sorry, one per customer." I was like, man, what are they doing?
Well, that's just like Wayne. You should ask him. He went in to go to a box lunch one time.
Oh man!
And I know this is a sore subject for him. We went to go to a box lunch one time to go get that Gambit glow.
Yes,
and they had like 17 in the back.
Yes,
boxing them all
exactly
up
17. Exactly 17. She has a whole stack of them behind her at the counter at box lunch. And if you picked up a pot from box lunch, they limit you to one per customer.
Yeah.
One per customer. So I walk up to the counter smiling from ear to ear. She has 17 of them. She's putting them back in the box. I said, "Oh no. You can leave one of those out."
Yeah.
She said, "Nope." She said, "Somebody just bought them all online."
All
I said,
of
"What
them.
do you mean?"
One person.
I said, "What do you mean bought them all online?" She said, "Yep, they just sold every one of them to this person online, and I'm boxing them up to mail them to them."
Oh my god!
I said, "Are you shitting me?" She said, "Nope." I said, "All right, have a great day."
Oh,
so the loophole is you can go online and buy as many as you want, but if you actually go to the store, you can only have one.
That's terrible. They're gonna suffer tremendously for that. I mean,
well, I can tell you what you do now. You take your phone and you sit outside a box lunch and you go ahead and buy 6 or 7 of them and you do the pickup in store and then you walk right in there and you're like, "All right, I'm here to pick them up."
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, hey, this just came in." Oh,
that's right.
Yeah,
like, just had to get those ordered real quick.
Oh, that's terrible. That's silly.
But see, I think Wayne and I have had this conversation. Now, again, you do the mystery box game, but there's sometimes like over the past 6 months. Of course, you buy stuff you want online, and yes, whether you buy them Entertainment Earth, pop in the box, whatever, you getting everything in the mail. Sometimes that takes away from that hunt, that getting. Sometimes it's so much more satisfying finding it in the store, holding it in your hand, and going to buy it than just waiting for it to show up at your doorstep.
Yeah, no, I mean that makes sense. I mean, so are you guys going to go to like conventions and stuff, or?
Yeah,
Well, I did before the pandemic. I mean, right before the pandemic, I'd just come back from Chicago Con. I mean, so
Oh yeah. So are you?
I've got tickets to MegaCon out here in August.
Yeah, that's a good one. What about C2E2? You guys going to that?
I've never been to any of those. I'd like to go to that one.
Come on, yeah. There's going to be a huge amount of people there. December.
Wait, did they move it, or are they having that one this year?
They're saying it's going. It's a go live. It's in December. There's a ton of people. Where are you out of, Wayne?
I'm right outside of Chicago, so I'm probably about an hour outside of Chicago.
You're right there.
Yeah.
Thunderdome.
Yeah. Well, I was at C2E2 last year. I mean, Chicago.
Yeah, you're in it. So yeah, they said it's in December, so we'll see.
Wayne and I've been talking for years about since we've been doing this. So we've been doing this for about a year now. We've been talking about that when cons come back, man, we would love to start hitting up the different cons and just going live from the cons. That would be awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, that's going to be amazing. I mean, I hope we see everybody there. It'll be amazing.
So you being a company man and you're into the numbers, and something tells me that you're going to be able to tell me what is the next hot item. I mean, I would have never seen it being football, basketball cards. I wouldn't have seen that being the hot item. What is the next one?
Oh man, that's a very difficult question. So you mean next like hot collectible that I would think maybe takes off?
Yes.
Man, this is going to be an obscure pick, okay, and this is definitely a risky pick, but I would say Flesh and Blood cards. It is a
think so?
Card game.
Flesh and Blood card. What?
Flesh and Blood is what it's called. It's a collectible card game that really is kind of a marriage between, I want to say, a little bit of Magic and Pokemon to a degree, with some type of equipment type stuff to it. It's a really technical, deep game, but they do the print runs the way that makes collectors kind of salivate a lot. You've got basically a first print, and then you've got an unlimited print. So it's a first and then everything else. And the first prints are immensely collectible already. And you're only about 5 sets into it currently, 4 sets, I want to say. And they just come out and they go through the roof. And I think that once that catches on, the only thing that really is kind of rough with it is the name of it, Flesh and Blood. You're like,
I've never heard of it. And
yeah, it's not very marketable. It came from overseas, but it's really catching on here as people have started to catch fire on the tradable card games. I think that's got some potential for sure.
See, I always remember Magic the Gathering as a kid. I played that stuff. And this is well before Pokemon and all that stuff was coming out. But
that's so funny. I did too. Like I loved Magic. Yeah, they've ruined that though. I mean,
yes, they ruined that game.
Destroyed it with the way they're doing the prints and the booster packs. It's like, oh my gosh.
But see, I even remember, to be honest, if you were like me as a comic book kid, I was even the D&D style, going out and buying the books. We had I don't know, I'd say we had a little bit more imagination.
Right.
Back then, because if you did D&D, I mean, you had to have that imagination to do your campaign and stuff like that. But I don't see that as much anymore.
No, I'm with you. I mean, take what I say with a grain of salt and don't listen to me. That's what I always say. Just a wild out there prediction. What do you see though? I mean, man, you think it's like Hot Toys? What is it going to be?
I don't really know.
What can have that steam? I think we've kind of seen everything on a grand stage, right? Like that has already.
I don't think we've seen everything on a grand stage. I think that there's some of the stuff that's still laying in the background. Like you just brought up Flesh and Blood. I would have never known about that one. I've kind of been looking at some Sideshow stuff. Sideshow's been coming out with a new line. They're called what is it? Iron Studios. So they got some Iron Studios, which is, I think it's a sister company of Sideshow. They have that coming out that I think I think it's been held back in the market only because a lot of people don't collect Sideshow because of the price of it. I mean, when you start thinking of Sideshow, you start thinking anywhere from $300 to $3,000. I mean, right? It's a huge price, but with the Iron Lab stuff, it's a lot more affordable, and it's about the same size. And when I say a lot more affordable, I mean maybe a tenth of the price of your Sideshow stuff. I mean, and I just recently ordered one because I have to get a look at it to see what the quality is. But if it's anything like the pictures, they're going to be pretty hot.
Yeah, I mean, the statue game is interesting because a lot of people end up there, it seems like, to some extent. But then you're right, like they're just so particular. It's such an art. But that Iron Studios, I think you're right. It definitely is going to open the market up to more people because of the price points. But it looks like they didn't sacrifice quality. They only sacrificed scale.
That's how I felt.
12-inch I saw, oh my gosh, man, I've seen some amazing things. They got an Omega Red coming out. Just, oh man, that thing is amazing. There's there's a store that has 6 companies that it kind of represents. It's like science fiction collectibles. Maybe somebody knows, but it has Sideshow, Iron Studios, and like some of the big 4. And you can kind of see all this, pre-order it all, have it coming out. Hopefully that would be kind of cool if it did, because they are super low producing. You know, what are they, 5,000 maybe pieces?
Yeah, and they started this line that's about 10 inches tall. So they started this line that's a little bit more on the cartoony side, like almost like a Funko. It doesn't quite have the big bobblehead, but it's more on the cartoony side.
Right.
But it still has it's 9 inches tall. They're 6 inches wide. I mean, so they still have some nice size to them. I got one coming. I'm excited to see what it looks like when it gets here.
What would be huge for them is if they added a random element to it. You know, like part of the fun of collectibles is, you know, get the chase sticker, like have some experience. Put 1 out of 10 or different somehow. I don't know.
Yeah,
that definitely will drive the I guess the intensity or the market.
And I agree with you, Chase. I think the Black Series figures have definitely started to take a rise recently.
Yeah, I think the Black Series is done.
I don't know.
I think,
but I think you're right in the same areas. The Black Series is cool, but if you started throwing some variants in there, it'd make a world of difference. I think, to be honest.
The problem with Black Series is they're not very posable. If they would go back in and rework their joints and make it more appealing to people like me that want to take it out of the box, want to set it up and then take a picture of it, but I don't want to spend $400 on a sideshow or a hot toy to do it. I mean, then it would suddenly become more appealing. But because you can't do that, once you take them out of the box, they'll only stand in 1 or 2 ways before they tumble over. They made it a lot more like a toy than they did necessarily a collectible, right? And they haven't found that balance. If they find that balance, I will agree and say that they'll go up. But I don't think that they're finding that balance. I think they're happy where they're at.
Now, also, guys, remember, if you guys yourself have questions for our great guest on here today, please go and put those in comments on the side. But I do agree with Zach too. I think the sodas have been had a huge rise for Funko in the past couple years. I mean, to be honest, I think the sodas are doing what they hoped the Dorbs would have done, but the Dorbs just were ugly as hell.
I think that there was some of the content creators that caused the sodas to go up. I think if it wasn't for people like Rock and Row, because look, I was on the soda game when they first came out. I was one of the first people screaming it, but they did not get the traction that they should have gotten in the beginning. It took a while. I think it was channels like Rock and Row and those guys that really pushed the sodas into where they are today.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think content creators have definitely had a lot of help for things in a different light. I think, if we think about it now, I mean, on average, if you ask most households nowadays what their main source of entertainment is, there's more households nowadays are saying they watch YouTube a lot.
Oh yeah.
So content creators, what we talk about, what we put out there, I mean, it's huge. I mean, you get talk like what we've talked about on our Saturday show when we talk about, the Falcon Winter Soldier or WandaVision or Mandalorian. We kind of nitpick all these little things that Marvel probably never even intended.
No,
but we're
analyzing them
frame by frame.
The writers didn't even know what they were putting in there. The writers to this day still don't know who Mephisto is.
Mephisto's coming, by the way. Don't get that twisted.
Hold on. Wink. Are we going to see Mephisto?
Yeah, man.
Go ahead and burst this bubble. It's okay. Let him. You don't have to let him down easy.
You have to. I would almost say no, but I mean you have to with Doctor Strange.
No, you can't.
It's
you
got.
can't.
You have to with Doctor Strange, and you have to if they're going to follow this line with Wanda. If they're going to follow the line with the kids, you have to have Mephisto.
So then they got to rewrite it for China because China won't let the devil
China.
in their
stuff. Worried about China right now.
They are.
If they worried about China, then if the movie's worried about China, then they wouldn't cast Robert Pattinson as Batman. I'm sorry.
What does that have to do with China?
I just had to throw that
out there. He said Robert Pattinson.
I figure I haven't gone on a rant about Robert Pattinson in a little while, so I kind of had to throw that in there.
I really am not excited, especially after watching the Snyder Cut. I'm like, well, we lost so much good stuff right there that they could have gone so many directions. Oh my gosh!
I like the Snyder Cut. I did sit through the 4 hours. I did enjoy the Snyder Cut. I think it was if they had put that out back in 2017, I think you would have much had a different product. I still wasn't huge on the actual storyline. I think the storyline was still a little lackluster, especially when you have a point where the Amazonians put up this big old fight for the cube, and then he just wanders into Atlantis and just like get out of my way and takes the cube. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, maybe that's a point of convenience. But man, like I did. What about the Flash, dude? Like I did not like the Flash, but now like after the Snyder Cut, I'm like, I love the Flash.
Well, I'm back and forth because that character, that actor, I wasn't on it, but I will say when I watched the Snyder Cut, I was a little bit more on him as an actor. I was like, okay, I can see it.
I was on him too. I'm with you. I'm with you. But Ben Affleck, come on, where's Ben Affleck as Batman? I'm tired of this nonsense.
I hated Ben Affleck as
Oh
Batman.
my god, man!
Still not as bad as Clooney though. I don't care.
I think he made a horrible Batman. I think Clooney did too, though.
Clooney was the worst one. Clooney was the worst one.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I think they're all terrible except for Ben Affleck. Give me Batfleck.
Robert Pattinson.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be. Maybe he'll surprise us. Remember when we were like talking about they put Heath Ledger as the Joker, the guy from Knight's Tale. We were all like, "What the heck?" And then he comes out as the Joker, and you're like, "Oh wow."
Look, I'm definitely trying to lend him an opinion before I make one because I know how things work when I'm like, "Oh, it's gonna be trash." Next thing I know, it comes out and it's like #1 on the hit for a year.
I'm on that line right now that I'm either gonna look incredibly smart or I'm going to look incredibly foolish. I've got no middle ground anymore because I've bashed him. So because the thing is, I can't stand Robert Pattinson as an actor to begin with because to me he's a chick flick actor and he needs to stay doing chick flick movies.
But you see, if it wasn't Ledger kind of that way too. He was definitely typecast to an extent.
But I think Ledger. I knew Ledger had a bigger range than he was giving off. I always liked Heath Ledger as an actor. I think he was solid. He was also the type of actor, like was it method actors?
Method actor, yeah.
He was always a method actor.
I mean, the role really killed him. I mean, in a way, you could almost say that. Like, I mean, you talk about giving everything to something.
Well, I mean, Jack Nicklaus told him not to play the role. I mean, he came out and told him, "Hey, look, it took me 9 months to recover after playing this role. Just don't do it." And he didn't listen. I mean, sometimes you should listen to your elders. I mean, there's sometimes you should be like, well,
I love the Heath Ledger one, but you can't beat Jack's version of the Joker.
Oh no, Heath Ledger stomped. I mean, he changed it.
He changed it. It was a different type of Joker, though. But you still, it's just like I still say Michael Keaton was the best Batman. But then again, you got to also say that do you categorize Adam West in there?
Nah. Well, I mean, you can. I mean, why not, right? But I will say, my order is really bad. I'll get crushed for my order.
No, we want to hear it.
No, now you said it.
You've got to say it.
It goes Batfleck, then it goes to Val Kilmer. I don't care.
Oh.
It goes to Val Kilmer, then it's everybody else. I may put Keaton in there. I kind of thought Christian Bale did okay. He had his moments. But Val Kilmer and Batfleck.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, dude. What about the last scene where he's in the Snyder Cut, man? I don't know. I've got like a genuine crush on Batfleck. I did. When he was looking at the Joker and he said,
even the last scene of the Snyder Cut, that was more about what's his name's Joker.
Jared Leto's Joker.
Jared Leto's Joker.
Man,
that ending scene was more about Jared Leto's Joker.
Oh man, I loved it, dude. I was like, this is great. We got robbed of so much good stuff right there.
Well, we got robbed because of Warner's problem with listening to people. That's always been Warner Brothers' problem is they only put out the Snyder Cut because they got so much press to put out the Snyder Cut that they finally, and then it's like now you put out a halfway decent film that everyone likes, that he could build upon another at least 2 movies.
Yeah.
And you've already killed it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, at least 2 movies, right? I mean, what do you guys think? A Suicide Squad looks like it's going to be legit.
But that's also James Gunn. James Gunn is a badass director.
Yeah, they got him on loan for 1 movie and then he went back home.
I think they messed up the first Suicide Squad. I think they'll mess up the second one.
Oh, man. That's a good point, Warlord.
That's a real good point. That is would be a good combination.
I will be all in on that. I'm all in on that. For sure.
I think DC will find a way to mess it up.
DC always finds as long as DC stays in Warner Brothers' hands, it's always going to be screwed up.
It's going to be bad. Yeah. I mean, I will say though, man, what about the live action TV shows? Like, I love Titans. I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's.
I haven't seen it yet.
Criminally underrated show. Check it out. I would tell you, just watch it. Watch the first season. It's really good. I mean, it's got a little bit of a CW vibe. I'm not going to lie to you, but tiny bit. But it's pretty dark. Like it.
But see, here's the thing. Even Flash, right? I agree. It's maybe not just Warner Brothers, but here's the thing with Marvel. First, Marvel, it's kind of set the bar now for the movies because, and I will still say the main reason Marvel is where it is because of Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige saw a vision. He was a fan first. He knew what the fans wanted, and he gave it to them. And in that same realm, Sony is taking a chapter out of his book by how I think they're going to build this Spider-Verse that they're going to build. It's just going to be incredible. But if Warner Brothers would put the time and investment in building their world, I mean, it would be. I would actually say it could beat Marvel.
I mean, it seems for me like I look at it from a business standpoint, right? Not the cliche numbers guy thing, but put the content out. Honestly, It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. People are going to go watch it. We're going to complain about it incessantly, but at the end of the day, you're going to get money, and you're going to make a lot of money because we're all going to go watch it. Or you're going to go watch Robert Pattinson Batman, aren't you?
Yes, I will be up there in the beginning watching Robert Pattinson Batman.
Yeah, we all are. We're all going to be there. Just put it out.
Even though I think it's going to be absolutely horrible, I will still be there watching it.
We'll be watching it day one. We'll all be in there watching it, complaining, and then waiting for him to put another one out.
Chase wants to know, what do you think about Morbius coming up?
We're not seeing Morbius. Not seeing none of those people.
Morbius?
Doctor Strange.
No, Morbius is Jared Leto. That's the Spider-Verse.
It's a standalone movie already. Yeah, they got a trailer out. That's an interesting choice. I never really understood why they chose Morbius to do a standalone movie. It never really kind of resonated with me how that came to be. Out of all the stuff you can pull from.
Yeah. The only thing I'm hoping with Morbius is Sony and MCU continue their partnership. And I want to see a Morbius against Blade because we know Blade's coming.
That's going to be the big thing. And maybe
how are they going to bring Blade back?
Huh?
How are they going to bring Blade back?
Oh, they're definitely going to bring. Oh, he's.
Oh, the actor they got for it. I can't pronounce his name, but the actor is perfect for the role. Snipes even gave a Twitter post and passing it along to him.
Yes, Lobo.
But how do you? Oh, that's going to be strange. How do you bring him back though?
It's Marvel that's just like MCU. Basically, I'm sorry, but if you watch WandaVision and the Pietro, the Quicksilver version that they showed in there, I'm sorry, but that was also a nod to the fact that Marvel is basically telling everybody, forget what you know about Fox's X-Men and all this other stuff. Forget what you know about it because we're rewriting the story.
That's not canon, really. They'll just throw him in there and say, "Oh, here's our Blade." They're just going to erase the canon.
Just going to erase it and start over.
Yeah.
I heard he did, but until he took out over
Black Adam.
He's playing Black Lightning?
Black Adam, yeah.
Black Adam. So he took the Black Adam role. I think he did want to play Lobo, but that kind of guy's gotten, it's going to take a special character, kind of a Ryan Reynolds pushing Deadpool to get a Lobo. I'm sorry. That's just where it's going to be. But I do agree. At a lot of Disney or a lot of DC movies, Shazam was a really good movie. Yeah. Now let's hope. Now again, the first Wonder Woman movie was a great movie, and then they came out with Wonder Woman 84 and crapped all over themselves.
Well, now I don't know. Kristen Stewart, Cheetah.
That was a horrible cheetah, dude.
Now, maybe her costume was at the end, but come on now. I said
now if they would have left it in the leather jacket.
You got me thinking of Twilight. It's Kristen Wiig.
No, if they would have left her in the leather jacket in that point, it would have been perfect. Yeah. But that cheetah version at the very end was horrible.
I won't take. I can't disagree. It was terrible, but man, her as Cheetah, that was good.
The only saving grace of that movie was Pedro Pascal. I loved his rendition of that.
Yeah, man, I don't know. He was good. I think he was as good as he could be with what they gave him. Man, it was weak.
It was a bad movie. So I'm hoping. I mean, yes, we got The Rock playing, Black Adam, and I think that's got huge potential for Shazam to be really, really good. I'm all for that. I think that's right now their best possible series coming out. But I don't know. I have no faith in Batman. And then we don't even know if we're getting another Superman, because I know what's his name is they've gone back and forth if they're going to bring him back or not.
I think you'll see him back, but I think you'll see the other Superman too, which may be good.
And I would agree here. Flash Ray says 84 was horrible.
Yeah.
The WWE scenes in the Snyder Cut was better. I agree. And mind you, I would have just stopped filming it and waited. And some of the stuff in Wonder Woman 84, you could completely tell that they were hiding things because she was pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm sorry that scene. You guys have watched it, but that scene where they're in the desert and she's just like running right along. Come on, man.
I didn't watch it. I can't say anything. I didn't watch it.
You didn't miss anything.
There's no point in watching it. As soon as it gets a lot of bad reviews, I don't even waste my time to sit down and try and figure it out.
Because they put it out on Christmas Day, and like right in the afternoon, you're like, man, there's nothing to do. Might as well watch.
I watched it Christmas Day.
This horrible film.
Yeah, that's good. That was good marketing, though. I was like, yeah, that's smart.
But the Snyder Cut's good.
Yeah, I love it.
And like I said, I don't know. Like I said, the world. I think we're gonna have okay. Although there is something that came out this week that I don't know if anyone checked out, but the Shang-Chi trailer came out this week.
I liked it.
Dude, that trailer looks ridiculous.
I'm in. I'm all in. You gotta watch Shang-Chi.
I'm definitely all in, but although there's a lot of critics are saying that it's not a Marvel type movie. Get into the movie. He's going to be.
Yeah, I think it'll be okay. Yeah,
I haven't seen the trailer yet. That's another one I can't talk about. I can say that China's not happy with it. I did read that.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah.
China's not happy.
Mortal Kombat dropped today.
Oh, it did drop today, didn't it?
Yeah.
But then again, China hasn't been a fan of anything that they've. I mean, I know that there was arguments about when the live action Mulan came out, and they were arguing about that one. It's like, just suck it up.
Yeah, I mean, you can't please everybody. You know how that goes.
What does it say, Wayne?
I can go by reviews alone. I definitely can. If 98% of people say that it's bad, I don't need to be 99.
I mean, have you ever did you think of anything in the recent time like you watched that was the review? You're like, I don't agree with this review, or the overall. No, he's like, yeah.
No, but yeah, I've had a lot of times where a lot of reviews that I'm just like, you know, I like the movie when the reviews say they don't, but I just figure now that I've got a forum and I got my YouTube, I'm gonna put my own comments out there. I don't care either way.
Yeah,
he's gonna probably count on my hand.
I'm gonna
throughout my life how many times that has happened. But I could count on one hand how many times I've read a bad review and then went and said, that wasn't too bad. I mean, on my hand.
But I will say right now, out of the 4 Marvel movies coming out this year, the best cinematic movie you're going to see is going to be The Eternals. I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be. I could see that maybe.
I think that's going to be the best overall look and cinematic movie you're going to see to date is The Eternals. I can't wait for it. I will probably watch Black Widow here at home. I got to watch Shang-Chi in the theaters.
Yeah, I will see Shang-Chi in the theaters too. Yeah.
I need to see that trailer.
Oh, you got to watch it. Yeah, you got to check the trailer out, dude. It's pretty good.
I'm definitely going to see that. You have anything going on next week you want to talk about?
Me?
Yes. Yeah, what you got going on coming up?
Sunday live stream, 5 p.m. this Sunday. Get your name on the wheel. I don't know if you guys have been by, but I've lost my mind.
I know you and I have talked about, jumping on or me and Wayne trying, in a few of the chats we've had. It's just hard because I know I work late nights, so I'm usually sleeping when you're doing your
yeah. So Sunday at 5, you can come check it out. There's usually a pretty big turnout, giveaway, a lot of stuff. We got a money wheel that spins to add, cash prizes to people's giveaways, support channels too. I mean, that's really what it's about.
It's what it's all
1
about.
hour long, 5 to 6. And then, I got a great video tonight. Spoiler alert. It drops in about an hour. Definitely want to watch it because I'd get torpedo back.
Oh yeah.
I've been getting crushed on torpedo boxes, but no, the company always prevails.
The company always prevails.
Definitely watch that one. Now I got some great hauls coming up too. I've bought a couple like key collections and stuff. I've started to incorporate that, you know, like get away from the boxes and kind of show people what I'm buying and speculating on, even though I'm like, you know, I always tell them, hey, just don't listen to me. I may not know what I'm talking about here, but this is what I'm doing. Tell me how I did.
But you got to diversify, like you say.
Yeah.
Change it up. Do different things.
Yeah, no, and I, you know, I want to do a show kind of, you know, similar to this one too. You know, like that's why I've left those open. I've got a few people I'm working with, so I'm hoping I can get those kind of going again. Get some, you know, people on there, see how it goes.
Well, definitely, guys, get over to Wink if this is for some reason is the first time you've heard of WayneKo and you've been living under a rock. You know, get over there. His link to his channel is in the description down below. I know we got Chase in here dropping the links to WayneKo. Get over there and smash that subscribe button to him because you are gonna want to see what he's got coming soon. Because I like I said, I've been subscribed to him for a while, and I absolutely love watching his videos. So, man, you got something coming out great. And I will give it to you that when I first saw you come back, even just that video, you just standing there panting, it was actually absolute genius, actually. But it was funny. I was laughing my butt off.
Yeah, it's for the wrestling, man. I was like, I gotta make this like it. Because I mean, I kind of knew when I left, like I was like, I think I'm gonna be able to come back because it was just contractual verbiage, really. I mean,
yeah,
I'd gotten a bump up and I'm in a very like public position. So it's very, very stringent on, hey, what's your social media presence? Like, well, you really got to watch this, you know, and there's a lot of fine print in there. And I was like, I need to step away. And it'll give me a chance to kind of retool, scale it back, change equipment, you know, do what you got to do. And then, you know, everybody, you know, time away is, you know, I guess absence makes the heart grow fonder. That's what I was going for. I was hoping for anyway. So I had no idea what to expect when I came back. Honestly, I was like, oh, man, this might be real bad. So much changed, man. So much had changed. I was like, "Wow, so much stuff changed."
Well, let's actually keep him around for a second. We're gonna go ahead and do our Patreon giveaways.
Nice.
And we'll keep them up while we do this. Let me take this overlay off, and we are going to bring up this screen. I think we're gonna do Wayne's first. And again, Wayne, Hello Kitty robot. Trying to do again. If you guys want to get into this for future months. The verbiage on our Patreon is going to change over the next couple days because, like I said, Patreon has changed some of their rules and verbiage and stuff like that. So, you know, it is what it is. But we are still doing the giveaways and go from there. But he has his Hello Kitty. I think that was a con exclusive.
San Diego Con last year.
Nice, so, man. Gosh. That's got the con sticker too.
Yes.
Damn, I got to see. That's another thing. I got to step my giveaway game up.
He said I got to step
people
my
are blasting me on them here.
We're gonna go ahead and let's shuffle this 7 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So let's go ahead and give that a spin.
Let's see who we got. Who is this month's Patreon giveaway? And it is, look at that, BK Phillips. Congratulations. I will get this out in the mail to you Monday or Tuesday or maybe even Wednesday because those are some rough days for me getting up at 2 a.m. to go to work, but it'll be somewhere in there.
We also want to just thank you guys for being, you know, supportive of the channel and stuff like that. Because like I said, you know, Wayne and I have always said from the beginning of doing our Patreons, everything we get dumps right back into the channel at all times. So we'll do the same thing. We got 7. We'll do 7 shuffles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, this is for the Funko Shop exclusive Flash. Glow in the dark.
Now, how new is that? Did that just come out?
This just dropped. I bought it like a week ago.
Oh man. Oh,
we got JB from Discovery Bay Comics.
Disco
for collectibles. JB, yes, definitely a good friend of ours, and he's a fantastic.
We missed JB lately.
We've been missing him, but he's I've been in communications with JB. He's got a lot of things going on right now, but he will definitely. I think he's going to come back to join us at least for Loki when Loki starts in June. So, but definitely, yeah. So again, guys, thank you again. If you guys want to get into next month, hit up the Patreons down below in the links there, and as well as if you guys want to be a part of the memberships, whether it's my turn to do the live stream or whether it's Wayne's turn to do the live stream, get that join button right down below. That'll take you to our YouTube memberships. And that'll get to where if you guys see that there are some people in here in this one right now, they got different donuts. So the longer you guys are members, the different toppings you will get, and go from there. So hey, I got four different tiers. It's going to work for everybody.
Oh, I got the glazed donut. I had to see what donut I was on right now. You made me look for it. I had to see what donut I was.
But yeah, so it's definitely fun, something we play around with, stuff like that. So we always appreciate all the support that we get, guys. Wink, dude, it's been a pleasure. I know you and I have been talking for a long time.
Yeah,
it was definitely a pleasure. We'll have to have you on eventually again another time in the future and go from there. But you definitely have something really, really good over there, and please continue doing what you do.
Oh man, thank you guys so much for having me, man.
I appreciate you going on, bud.
Yeah,
it's fun.
So, all right, buddy. Thank you very much.
All right,
man. That was a hell of a stream.
That was a hell of a stream. Man, what do you got going on after this? Don't you and JKO got something coming on right after this?
Yes, JKL and I have the Lester Fixin' Soda challenge, or I don't know, whatever it is, but we're gonna drink some really gross sodas. We got some bacon in there, some ranch, some grass, some dirt, some all kinds.
What is wrong with you?
What
is wrong with the two of you?
We've been asking ourselves that forever, but we just kind of keep on doing it. We're gonna see if we can make each other throw up and go along with there. But definitely it'll be fun. It'll be entertaining. So definitely come back. 8 o'clock, we are going to do there is a corn soda too.
Oh so man, something's wrong with you.
It'll be interesting. We have I think we have 7 or 8 flavors, and where we're going to do the same thing as we did last time with the can challenge. We're going to send people to different channels to give some support, and whoever wins out of those is going to pick what we have to drink. So you guys are going to get to pick what we have to drink.
Oh man, that sounds rough.
So what do you got coming up this week, buddy?
You know what? Normally I say that I don't have a whole lot going on, but this week is going to be a pretty intense week. So Monday's going to start off with the new album. Tuesday's going to come in with some clips of the live stream. I've got to where I really like doing that. So I take the clips out of some of our live streams and just kind of like throw them on there.
Have you already done some of those? Because I've completely missed some of those.
Yes. No, I love those. Those are some of my favorite things to do. So I like doing that. And then this Wednesday at 7 p.m. So this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'm going to be on Whatnot, and I'm going to like change the name of it soon. It's just going to be called Thinning Out the Horde. So I'm going to thin out my collection a lot. I'm going to be honest. It's going to be thinned out a lot, and I'm really not going to try and put extreme prices on there. If whatever they get bid up to is what they get bid up to. I'm going to start them off at $1. I've got some great con pops that are going to be in there. I got some it chases that are going to be in there. It's going to be a pretty awesome lineup. I think that it is. You should definitely come check it out and tell me if you think that it is. But come check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that'll be this Wednesday on Whatnot. It's going to be the first time I've ever done it. I'm going to have fun with it. Come help me thin out the horde.
Ooh, hold on. This is new breaking news here. JK, you saying you got 2 giveaways for tonight? 2
giveaways for tonight.
That what you're saying?
2 giveaways.
I think I have 1 item sitting up here that I've set aside for giveaway. So maybe I'll have to add that one in there. But yeah, I didn't know. Yes, hey, we got the thumbs up. So apparently come by, check it out. We're going to do some support for some channels, and we're going to give away some pops. So that's going to be awesome. And we're going to drink some really gross soda.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
And by the way, if you guys are also not, I'm going to throw this out here for Wayne, because I usually try to hit him up every week. Guys, get over there. I think, was it on Thursdays?
Thursdays.
He has a really you're killing it, dude. Because I've seen you more and more week by week, you know, because it's your own live stream every Thursdays, and you're just starting to kill it, man. I love what you're doing. And you guys need to definitely set your schedules, hit those post notification bells, and check Wayne out on Thursday.
Hey, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. It means a lot when it comes from you and other people in the community that like it. So it's at 4. It was at 3. I think 3 was a mistake. It was a horrible time to have one. I'm really trying to go by the analytics now. I'm trying to, instead of just saying that I'm going to do things when I do it, I'm trying to work with analytics and see how that, like, the response goes from that. I mean, but so it's going to be at 4 p.m. on Thursdays. Come check me out. Come hang out. It's whatever news is going on that day. I kind of stopped doing the whole news segment of my channel because I felt like I could do it on Thursdays. I could just kind of wrap whatever was going on that I felt like was news at that moment on Thursdays. If it's not news, a lot of times it's not news. A lot of times it's bullshit. I'm not gonna lie. It's not news.
No, but and again, you guys will probably see. I usually try to tune, because usually a lot of times when he's doing his videos, I'm actually already sitting at my desk editing some videos. So I usually try to tune in. You'll probably see me harassing him most of the time.
Yes.
And you know, it's always good fun. And especially last week, you had me and Bearded in there.
Yeah,
and
it was rough.
Him and I together just kind of it was entertaining.
It's entertaining, to say the least. It's all good. It's all good. Let's get out of here so that you can have a break before you go live.
Yep.
I mean,
Just a little break. I
or
gotta go down to the fridge to go get the sodas. They've been sitting in the fridge for like a week.
I might have just drink them hot. I might just drink them hot. Oh man. Oh, well, doesn't even sound good.
Go ahead. I don't know. I know we got a couple outros here.
I'll find the right one, and if it's not the right one, I apologize. It'll be the right one next time. I meant to remake it today. I didn't remake it today, but that's all right, guys. We truly appreciate y'all hanging out. Make sure that you come back here in 30 minutes to hang out with Chris and JKO. They're going to be eating some nasty stuff. I know how much everybody enjoys watching them in pain, so make sure you come back and check that out, and we will see y'all next time, guys. Have a good one.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Sometimes the easiest things to do take the longest amount of time to get done. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed that, but before we get out of here real quick, guys, don't forget to go check our channel memberships out. These are both very new features to Mr. Techbot and myself, but we're both very proud that we have made it to this point. So go check out our memberships. The link should be down in the description below. If it's not down in the description below, you should be able to go to any one of our videos and it'll be down in the description below. So make sure you go check that out. It's super cool, fun way to get interactive with the channel. You'll get some really cool icons, some really cool emojis you can drop over in that super chat. You can drop over there in that chat so that you can flex on everybody a little bit. And don't forget that any and all super chats will go down in the description after this video is over. Give us 15, 20, maybe even 30 minutes to get it down in there. I mean, we might not be able to do it right away. You know, we've got to eat dinner and still hang out with our family, but we truly appreciate all of you guys, and we look forward to seeing you soon. Have a good one.